Welcome to Two Guys, One Anime. I'm Ashori.
And my name is the Holy Apple.
And today we are continuing on with our bracket fights. We've found another one that we thought would be good. This one is Best Anime Series. We haven't made this, so if there's series in here that you don't agree with, it's entirely the person's fault who made it. But we like to judge. Really, I think there's probably one or two series that could have been in here, but we're just gonna work with what we've got.
It'd be vastly different if we made it. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, and it would also probably be quite a lot, whereas this is only 16, I think. Something like that. I think it's 8 each side, so it's actually manageable. But let's get into it. First two. Black Clover versus My Hero.
My Hero, no contest. Go on.
Yeah, I'd say that as well. I haven't seen Black Clover, but I'd say My Hero as well.
I understand there's a big fan base behind Black Clover, but compared to My Hero, I think the fan base for My Hero is way bigger and probably a lot more loving of the anime than Black Clover is. At least from what I observe anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I'd say so.
We can talk about the anime series itself, but if you've seen both of them, then I'm pretty sure you'll know exactly why we're going for My Hero.
Yeah, it's good. Well, there's more of it as well. Like, there's more to come of My Hero, isn't there? I think Black Clover's finished, isn't it? I think now. I don't
know. Last time I knew, I thought it was finishing, and then they carried on. So I have no idea.
That's true. Yeah, they did bring it back for a little while. Yeah, My Hero's just got like more to go, and also you got the films and stuff. It's just got a much bigger following. I think it has.
I'm just thinking as an actual anime series, literally every character in My Hero has a story, and you can kind of feel connected to each and every character.
Yeah.
Whereas Black Clover, not so much.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's also like a very clear no contest.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Fair argument. Right. Dragon Ball Z, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Now, where does Z cut off? At the Buu Saga or the Cell Saga?
I want to say Buu.
So the full thing.
Yeah, it was Frieza Saga, wasn't it, to Buu?
Frieza Saga to Cell Saga, then to Buu Saga.
Probably the best Dragon Ball Z, if I'm honest, out of everything. In terms of storyline. But then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it's like one of the highest rated anime series you can watch.
The thing is, I enjoyed both of them about the same. I know Dragon Ball Z is nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much watched the entire series when I was a kid, and then I came back to it and watched it all over again for Super. But
yeah, still.
See,
if I'm being biased, I'd say Dragon Ball. But
I want to say Full Metal.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I haven't even seen Full Metal yet, but I know how big it is and how good it is.
It's not because of how big it is. It's because in Full Metal, whilst there's a lot of action and things like that are done in it, you can feel emotionally invested to the main two characters, Edward and Elric. I don't know.
Elric, yeah.
I can't remember the No, Alphonse and Edward, I think it is.
Okay.
I think that's their names. But anyway, so from the start, you feel invested with the characters, and then right at the ending, there is the definitive ending, and there's a clear story throughout the entire thing. Dragon Ball Z, even though it is like with sagas, which is fine for animes, because you have to do it by, seasons, I suppose. But there wasn't really a definitive ending with Dragon Ball Z. It kind of got dragged on because of the Buu Saga.
Yeah.
I think Toriyama wanted to finish it on the Cell Saga. And be done with it.
Yeah, because like you said, it doesn't finish with Z. It goes on to GT and then it went on to Super, I believe. I think that's how it worked. So
it went on to GT. GT then got retconned, and then they brought out Super, which is like, okay. But
I'm with Full Metal, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going with Full Metal as well. Yeah. Because if Dragon Ball Z had ended on Cell Saga, like definitively, then it'd be very hard for me to pick between. But because Full Metal does have a definitive start, ending, and also a very good story in between, and I'm going for Full Metal.
Yeah, I agree.
As much as I love Dragon Ball Z, I'm afraid that's the truth.
It's true. Right.
Inuyasha.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I like Dragon
Quick
Ball.
draw.
I like Dragon Ball, but
I actually don't.
the first stuff's not like. Obviously, it's building a story, like him being a kid, and then he's with Master Roshi, does the tournament and meets goes against Tien and stuff like that. And it's good, but it's not as good as Z, like miles away from Z. I think I
think
can't.
OG Dragon Ball fans would disagree. Like they'll say Dragon Ball was literally the best because it's the original.
Yeah, but
when it comes to like action and engaging like the characters, I think Z did it better in my eyes. Like, Dragon Ball was kind of just a fun project for Toriyama to do, where he just did comedy alongside martial arts, which it works brilliantly. Don't get me wrong, but Inuyasha I feel like is a staple anime, and I was quite surprised it actually got a sequel, which was Yashihime.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen yet. I'm going to have to watch that. So,
yeah.
On top of that, I think I'm actually biased towards Inuyasha in a way, because I think it was like one of the first anime series I watched from start to end. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
I'm happy with Inuyasha.
Okay.
One Punch versus Naruto.
One Punch Naruto.
Now, this is difficult, because Naruto is very story-rich. I'd argue that I like the original Naruto more than Shippuden.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more to it. But at the same time, One Punch Man was fantastic, but there's just not a lot of it. I think that's where it's going to disappoint. Like, season 3 of One Punch Man came out literally last week. I'd probably say One Punch Man all day long. Because I know roughly what happens in season 3.
Yeah.
But
yeah, season 3 is probably going to actually carry the rest of it, if I'm honest. Like, season 1 and season 2 was good, but season 3 is going to be the one if done right.
Yeah, if it's animated properly, then season 3 is going to be the big one. But the big problem with it is it's not out yet. It's like you only have the manga to go off, and if you don't read the manga, then
you're stuck with season 1 and season 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you look at Naruto. It's not only is it an iconic anime, because it came out bloody ages ago. It's like one of the original Shonen 3, I think, as well. Literally establishes a story brilliantly between like, all the ninjas. The fact that they've actually got, it's not just, oh, these people are ninjas and they go on this adventure. Like, they have entire structures of villages and their entire hierarchies, their military corps, all this random bits of lore that you can just read into and absorb, as well as like the clans behind it as well. So I feel like there's a lot more to Naruto. So I'm going to go to Naruto personally.
Yeah, I mean, I really like One Punch Man, but like you said, there's not enough of it to class it as better than Naruto. Like, genuinely. So, yeah, makes sense.
I love One Punch Man. I love the concept.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Naruto's just got so much more.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
My Hero vs. Full
My
Metal.
Hero vs. Full Metal. I want my heart says My Hero, but my head says Full Metal. Because I really enjoy My Hero. Like I really do think it's a good anime, but
no, I'm leaning towards My Hero as well, to be honest.
Yeah, but Full Metal's just, it is, you know.
Well, it might not be a popular opinion, but here's my problem with Full Metal. So the two main characters, you can be heavily invested in it. It's entirely their story. There's also some side characters like, let's say Colonel Mustang, for example. Even though he's a very popular character, he's still a side character, and I think there's only like 3-4 like main side characters. So it's easy to get invested in them characters, but then anybody else who just shows up will either get killed or something will happen to them, or they just don't show up again. So you can't get invested into what they're about.
Yeah.
Whereas My Hero's literally got an entire classroom full of characters where you can get invested in every single one of them.
Yeah, you can either love them or hate them type thing.
Yeah. And just to really upset the Full Metal Alchemist fans, Lemillion's Last Stand trumps any feat in Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, it's a pretty good scene, I won't lie.
Even though a lot of people were really angry with it, how it was animated, just being still frames, it is so good.
It's telling telling a story though. That's the You know, you can't argue it because it's. I mean, that sort of stuff's done in actual films and actual TV, where they'll use like still images to show a certain scene and stuff. So it's not like it's been done bad.
Yeah. Another feat that I'm going to bring out from My Hero as well. United States of Smash from All Might after the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Literally one of the most. It's the modern era equivalent to one of the most iconic scenes in anime. So, like, how do you compete with that unless you have another iconic feat, which Full Metal is kind of lacking in my opinion. Like, you have Mustang with his clicks with his fingers where he's, like, setting, I think it's Envy on fire numerous times over.
Yeah.
Like, that's iconic. But that's about it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So, I'm going My Hero for this one.
Fair enough. It's got to be Naruto, isn't it, surely?
Naruto. My heart bleeds because I love Inuyasha, but then there's a lot more to Naruto than there is to Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those stories where if you take out Kagome and Inuyasha, the rest of the story will fall apart, pretty much. Because without those two main characters, there's no dynamic to work through the entire thing. Like, the side characters that go along with them are brilliant, but they're just side characters. They don't actually have, like, an independent story without the main two. But Naruto is a bit different. There's a lot of different dynamics in it.
Yeah.
So, Naruto.
Makes a lot of sense.
This is a difficult one. This is one I'd like to veto, if I'm being completely honest.
I haven't seen Naruto, obviously, because it was. I'll be honest, it was never my kind of thing. Like, seriously. But even I think I'd have to pick Naruto out of these two.
I'm not entirely sure at the moment.
I think it's like you said. There's so much more of Naruto.
Yeah, but we are in season 6 of My Hero now.
We are, and 3 films down the line as well, admittedly.
Yes.
So we have got a lot of content.
Yeah, comparable to the two, Naruto does have a lot more, don't get me wrong. But we've seen enough of My Hero to see where it's going to go and how things are developing. Like, you can literally look at the first episode from season 1 and then the latest episode, and you can just see the massive changes that have gone throughout the series. Which is literally like watching the first episode of Naruto to the end episode of Naruto. You see all the changes that's happened. But I don't know. This one's hard because they both have a lot to them. Like, again, I can say My Hero on one hand, there's a lot of characters to get invested to, whereas Naruto, you might only be invested in the main 3. On the other hand, with Naruto, you can say there's a lot more to it lore-wise in terms of the clans, dynasties, and things like that. Whereas My Hero is just one classroom or one school. So there's a lot of different ways you can spin it, but I think I'm going to weigh it on just progression alone. I think Naruto was a bit too slow-paced for me. Because I think it has like 250 to 300 episodes, if memory serves me right.
Yeah.
But in that 200 to 300 episodes, give or take, you literally only really see about, I think, a year or two's worth of progress.
Yeah.
And in that year or two worth of progress, like, Naruto is still the same ninja rank he was at the start. I know comically it carries on through to Shippuden, but the thing about that is, like, no one seems to progress much. Like, they learn new abilities and new traits on what to do, but it's not until Shippuden where they really start to develop and become, like, proper class ninja.
Yeah.
But in My Hero, you can literally look at Day 1 Deku, no superpower, but when he gets All Might power...
he's got no quirk, literally.
Yeah, literally no quirk, but when he gets the quirk, he's always breaking his arms and things like that just by using it. And then you look at modern day, like the latest episode, it's not even been, what, I want to say a year, maybe a year and a half in their time. And
I'm trying to go off of school years. Yeah, that they are in their second year, aren't they? I think. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's been like a year and a half since the start of the school year. I don't know if they're in the second.
Yeah, year and a half would make sense because it's like you've got like a little bit where they're like not primary school, but like the school before, and then they get put into what is basically high school.
Yeah.
And then they're a second year now, I believe. So Yeah, probably a year and a half of progress potentially.
Yeah, it's definitely second years actually. Now that I think about it, because they do the hero course, and you've got to be a second year for. No, it's the end of the first year when they're doing the sports day. If memory
Yes.
serves me right. So
Yeah.
then it goes into the second years, which is when they're doing all the hero association stuff.
Mm.
But the development that you see between the start where Deku has the power to where he is now, where he's using the quirk literally without thinking about it.
Mm.
But I think he's using up to like 30%, 40% now. And he's had times where he's used 100%. So
Yeah.
the fact that he's getting up to his max power and he is only a year and a half in, it's a lot more progression than what Naruto achieved in his time. That's
Mm.
what I kind of like more about it, because even though it's a lot faster, it's segregated out in such a nice way that you don't get bored of it, but at the same time, it doesn't seem unfeasible for it to be achieved
Yeah.
at the same time. And
Yeah.
it's not just, obviously, it's not just Deku who achieves that, it's everybody.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing
even
as well.
Bakugo.
Yeah, everyone's improving, and you get to see that progression.
Yeah, everyone seems to be improving on some level,
Hmm.
which is always good. So I'm personally going for My Hero on this one.
I will side with you because obviously I would love to see My Hero get through anyway.
Yeah, if this was Shippuden,
I think if this was a final, it would be an amazing final.
oh yeah, 100%.
Um,
But yeah, if that was Shippuden instead of just normal Naruto, I'd be swinging towards Shippuden just because there's a lot more in Shippuden than there is Naruto, despite the fact that I actually like the original Naruto more. That's just personal preference for me.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Right. My Hero completes the first side. We are now into the second one, and it is Shippuden and Sword Art.
I
mean,
I'm literally going to eat my words.
it is
Shippuden.
Shippuden, isn't it? I don't even think we need to talk about this. I'm brutally honest.
I'll briefly talk about it for a minute, but
yeah,
even if you take all of Sword Art Online, including the first season, the Gun Game Online, and Alicization, or however you pronounce it, like all three of them together, it still doesn't beat Shippuden.
No,
because in Shippuden you literally go from the end of what happened in the original Naruto. There's a bit of a time skip, and then it's now from that point where Naruto is still a genin ninja, and he goes all the way to being more or less Hokage level, which is like the top level ninja.
Yeah.
And if not more, like even more powerful than them, like by the end of it. So there's such a massive scale difference in it. And not to mention there's a lot of different stuff that goes off in this as well. There's too much to talk about in Shippuden. You'd actually need an entire video to go over everything. Like an hour long kind of thing.
We don't have that time.
We don't have an hour, so I'm not going to talk about it all, but Shippuden all the way for this.
100%. One Piece.
What's that, One Piece?
Boruto, yeah.
Get Boruto the fuck out of it. I don't care if anyone's a fan of it. It's shit.
It's weird that they're using it looks like the manga front as well, rather than the actual...
Yeah, it looks like the manga front.
Yeah.
But no, One Piece will blow anything out of the water, if I'm being brutally honest. Because it's the longest anime, apart from Case Closed, in existence, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
It's on about 900 episodes. No, it must be over
it's over 1,000
now.
It's over 1,000.
Yeah. I think Case Closed is only just narrowly in front of One Piece. And they've been going on for about the same amount of time.
I think Case Closed is up to about maybe 1,100 now, potentially. I think. Yeah. I don't think there's many in it. I think off the top of my head it's probably... No, do you know what? They're probably close to 1,100. They're probably at like 1,070, and I want to say One Piece is probably 1,035, potentially. It's One Piece. You know. Against Boruto as well, like... If you're going to put it up against anything, that's probably the worst one to put it up against. That stands no chance.
Boruto, while I understand it is still finding its feet, the fact that they have to rely on bringing back Naruto and Sasuke, forgot his name for a second, to actually make the anime really interesting for the end protagonists, end antagonists, it's a bit damning to the anime. Like, you'd expect Boruto to reach a point where he could take on these antagonists himself. I know there are certain enemies that he does, but for the big bads, it's still Naruto and Sasuke getting involved when the whole anime is supposed to be about Boruto.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, at that point, Naruto and Sasuke should just strictly be side characters, not taking the main character role and beating the big bad.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest problem for the anime for me. Obviously, it's probably changed in recent one. I've not seen too much of it, but it's just not good enough.
I can't see past the animation style. I think it's lazy.
Oh, okay.
It looks. I've seen like bad clips of it. It looks terrible.
Don't always judge it off bad clips. Always have to judge it from the entire episode. You know this.
True.
We've seen Dragon Ball Super. We've seen
Seven Deadly.
What was it? We've seen Seven Deadly. That's another one.
Yeah, I mean, true, but nah.
The
thing is that I never liked Naruto, so I'm never gonna go. I'm gonna watch Boruto because it makes sense. Like
I've seen Kengan Ashura. Have you know?
I can't stand that animation style anymore.
As soon as you get past the animation style, it's actually a good anime. Trust
I can't
me.
Stand it. I can't stand it.
The animation style slowly improves, gets better, and it becomes bearable.
The annoying thing is with that is the fight scenes look good, but it's just the rest of it.
Yeah, the rest of it, like when they're talking normally, it's janky as hell.
Yeah, it just looks weird. I'm like, nah, just nah. Anyway, next one's Hunter x Hunter or Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood.
The original.
Yeah.
See, I really enjoyed Hunter x Hunter, but that's it. I'll go more in depth. So, Hunter x Hunter, I watched it from episode 1 all the way to the end. It gets really good. It's like really good to start with because it's like it's a new adventurer. It's gone finding out about his dad. He's trying to find out where he is, where he's gone. He goes on this massive adventure to try and find him, doing all this little side stuff to be like a proper hunter.
Yeah.
But the problem where it falls off for me is during the last arc, where the best way I can describe it is super ants somehow devour human flesh and then take on humanoid forms. The best way I can describe it. But they become pretty much like what Cell is in layman's terms. Like, if Cell were to come into Hunter x Hunter, that's pretty much what happened. But
okay.
So this guy can use like really powerful martial arts stuff. I think he can use energy beams at some point, if memory serves me right. Or he's just unbelievably strong. But yeah, during that arc, it feels like the story just disconnects completely. And there's not really much else you can do. But whereas with Full Metal Alchemist, it's like the story is consistent throughout the entire thing. It doesn't seem to stray much regardless. There's the odd episode here and there where they do a side thing, but for the large part of it, it's one consistent story. So yeah. I'd actually give it to Full Metal, even though I loved Hunter x Hunter.
I mean, I've not seen either of them, but personally, I want to watch Full Metal over Hunter x Hunter. Like,
yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't actually care all that much for Hunter x Hunter, if I'm honest. Like, nothing's made me want to watch it.
Yeah.
Whereas Full Metal, I definitely want to watch. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Off that argument and off of your argument, then yes. Right, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! GX or Fairy Tail.
I don't feel like I can win if I pick either one with this because I'm a massive Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan to start with. I like Fairy Tail, and until they had a break and did a big time skip, it was really good story-wise, but I can't get back into it, is the problem. Because effectively what happened was they did a massive story behind it all, where Natsu finally joins up into the Fairy Tail Guild. They go on all these different adventures, loads of shit happens, basically, and towards the end of it, they have a battle to save the world, and then it falls into a tournament that they have to do as well because something else happens along the side. And there's these 3rd gen Dragon Slayers. There's a lot to it, but then there's a big time skip because the guild dissolves or something like that. And there's a big time skip. Natsu reappears one day after doing 5 years of training, appears as powerful as hell, but then he's not powerful for the rest of it. The next episode on, he's just back to normal. It's I don't see what the point of it was. And then I've got Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, which isn't the strongest series of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll be honest.
Yeah.
If I was to rank them, I'd go original Yu-Gi-Oh, then 5Ds after that, because I like the motorcycle concept better. But, no, GX wasn't bad. I would go for Fairy Tail because there's a lot more into it, rather than Yu-Gi-Oh, because at the end of the day, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is just a rinse and repeat of the original Yu-Gi-Oh, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah.
Whereas Fairy Tail is its own independent story that is still building on it to its day, or today.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't care for Yu-Gi-Oh at all, to be honest with you.
No, I didn't think you would.
It was another one that, because I've explained this to you before, it was either Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh in my, like, when I was a kid. I was Pokemon all the way. I did not care for Yu-Gi-Oh at all.
I did both.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can be an ultra nerd, but you know. No.
I am the nerd.
I
even had a Beyblade. Fight me.
Because it was the same. It was the same with Naruto and Dragon Ball. It was like you either liked one or the other, and I was just like, well, it's Dragon Ball, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all. There was always arguments like that, which they were always quite fun, but
I never responded. I was just like, I watch both.
Yeah, I watch all of them, so I don't care. No, but I can use my argument literally from the last pair, which is out of the two, which ones do I want to watch? I want to watch Fairy Tail. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't, so I'd rather see Fairy Tail go through, if I'm brutally honest.
No, that's fine. There's a lot more to Fairy Tail when it comes to the series anyway. Shippuden One Piece. That's good. Right, before we actually answer this one, you can leave a response down in the comments below if you actually want to answer this yourself. Naruto Shippuden or One Piece, which anime series is a better series? Just leave a comment down below which one you think is the better one. But anyway, personally for me, I want to go One Piece.
Yeah, I think we have to.
We don't have to, but
I don't.
This is where Shippuden's downfall comes in, because they've had to segregate out Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, so it breaks the anime in half effectively.
Yeah, it breaks it up.
Whereas One Piece is still going. Like, you can watch episode 1, see the really old art style, and then go all the way to episode 1070 with the new art style where it looks bloody incredible. And the story has changed so drastically that you won't recognise it. Whereas with Naruto, there's a clear cut between the original and Shippuden. Like, you can tell the difference in quality, you can tell what's changed in it. But, yeah, it's just... One Piece is like a completely different beast, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is my feelings on it as well. It's just... It's in another league, really.
Yeah. One Piece is pretty much in a league of its own at this point, because I don't see many animes being able to compare to it. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of One Piece, but I still respect it enough to say it's easily one of the best animes of all time.
I would argue Dragon Ball, but like you said, it's split. Like, we're now in what, 4th series?
This is technically 4th, yeah.
And we've had how many films? Like 10 films for fucking Dragon Ball, something like that.
We must be coming up to 16, 17, if not more than that.
Whereas I know One Piece has got films, but I don't think it's as many, if I'm correct.
Yeah, there's not that many films. I think there's like maybe 5, 6.
Yeah,
maybe.
But then,
like yeah, with Dragon Ball Z, I remember Dragon Ball Z literally has 12 films. I remember there's definitely 12 for 7, but there's definitely 12 films for Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball, I think there was 5, if not 4, and then Super's got 2 films as well, which is Broly and Battle of the Gods, obviously.
Yeah.
So 16, 17-ish, I think.
You say that, but there was the Beerus film.
Yeah, Battle of the Gods.
Was it Battle of the Gods?
Yes.
Battle of the Gods. And then there was...
Then there's Broly.
And then you've got the new one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one, yeah.
That's 3, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 for Super now.
Yeah.
So it could actually be 18.
There's a lot of films, man.
There's a lot of films.
And
there's more than likely going to be another one coming up.
Some of it can be quite confusing as well, because it's like they sort of retell a story from the series, which is a kind of... It's not annoying, but it's like... If you're watching the series and then you start to watch the film, you're kind of like, oh...
Yeah, it's awkward, because if you want to try and keep with the story, my advice is don't watch the films, just watch the anime. Because the films often go off their own tangent. Like, if you look at where Goku was in the Frieza saga, Around the same time, you had the Tree of Might, I think it was one of the films, where his brother, alleged brother, Turles, comes to Earth. But at that time, it makes no sense. It's same with there's another one with like another Namekian that shows up. Can't remember what his name is off the top of my head though. But
yeah, I think I know the one you're on about. It's weird.
Yeah, there's like loads of different scenarios of it.
Because there was also the film with a baby in it, which was like a android Vegeta, wasn't it, or something, or he's based on Vegeta or something.
That was the end villain of GT.
Yeah, weird. That was so weird, man. It was such a weird.
When it comes to GT, none of it was real. Ignore it.
So strange, but yeah. Going back to this, I'd just go with One Piece. It's just
One Piece is a
solid. Okay. Full Metal, Fairy Tail.
Original Full Metal versus Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
I'd say Full Metal because with Full Metal, I can be way more engaged in that story and those characters than I can with Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. Like, Lucy and Natsu, I am quite invested in to see how their stories develop. But for the rest of them, I'm not that interested, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy with Full Metal going through on that one.
Yeah, that's a fair argument, I think.
Full Metal One Piece. One Piece is my vote.
Yeah.
Because like I said again, it's a whole new beast.
Yeah, we've literally gone over this. It's a different breed of anime. It just is. Final.
Yeah.
The new boy versus the old one.
Sorry, the old boy's still got experience and still got energy left in the tank.
Yeah.
He's a behemoth.
I'm pretty sure we've done I think we've done like a favorite anime or best anime of all time. I think it was best anime of all time was what we did. I'm pretty sure we picked One Piece for that, and it's I haven't seen One Piece, but it is a different breed. Like, it's completely, like you said, in a league of its own. Nothing comes close to it, and nothing, I don't think, ever will.
No, it's going to be incredibly hard for any anime to come close to it. Like, even if you look at modern day animes like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu, and things like that, they're not going to come close to One Piece. Like, as much as I love them as animes, and they're brilliant storytellers, fantastic animation work, great character design, One Piece is just a whole nother level. Like, if you haven't watched One Piece, and you just get into the first episode and you're a bit like, it's not that good, stick with it. You will probably end up finding out that you're going to be watching into the hundreds, if not 200s of episodes, and just become absorbed by how much there actually is. Like, there's a reason it's been going on for, 10 years, if not more? Yeah. Like, it's still probably one of the most popular animes in Japan, if not the whole world at this point.
Yeah.
So, there is a reason why it's still around, and you don't get that way by being a bad anime, we'll put it that way. But, yeah, One Piece, again.
Yeah. Definitely. A worthy winner, as we would say.
Yes, interesting little bracket fight for it, though.
It's pretty good. I mean, as we said at the beginning, there were animes that you could argue that should have been in there. JoJo would be one straight off the top of my head, if I'm honest.
JoJo would have been a good contender. I would have probably switched Dragon Ball Z out with Super, personally, because I like Super better than Dragon Ball Z, as much as that might not be a popular opinion.
No, I would have swapped it out for Dragon Ball. I would have left Z in there because Z is iconic, like you said. So I would have probably changed Super out for Dragon Ball itself. I'd have probably have changed out Boruto for JoJo. And I mean, Attack on Titan wasn't in there.
Yeah, Attack on Titan would have been a good contender.
There is an argument there. Also, you have got Demon Slayer and you have got Jujutsu, so
even Chainsaw Man to a degree, if you want to throw that in the mix.
Yeah, it could have been done.
I know we've only had one season of it, but still.
It was going off of series, so it's like you're going off of that season or saga of the anime. So they definitely could have been put in there. Like you could have put like Demon Slayer Entertainment arc in there. Is what I probably would have gone with out of all of them, if I'm honest.
I was gonna say, if they did actually reference specific sagas or arcs, this would have been a very different video.
Yeah.
But because we're looking at the entire anime series, it's One Piece, I'm afraid.
Yeah. It's well deserved, completely. Let us know if you agreed down in the comments. Would you have picked a different winner? Do you think the finalists were worthy? But if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button and keep up with the other videos that we do on the channel. We have done a fair few bracket fights now. I think this is maybe 5, potentially, off the top of my head, something like that.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I've lost count. We've done other stuff as well. We also have playthroughs on a Monday and a Wednesday, so if you're into that sort of stuff, you can go and find that as well. But until next time, we will see you later. Bye.